Hello, everyone. Look, I'm not alone. I'm not talking
Hello
to myself.
there.
I'm with Dave. This is Dave. Everyone,
Hello.
everyone's in the
Good
chat
to
saying hello.
hear you all.
Yes. So we're going to start with our guest first, and we're going to talk about the modern saloon owner. I keep calling him that. And we're going to talk about what is it, Rocco's Townhouse and Rock Bottom Whiskey Bar,
That's
correct?
correct. Right on.
Yes. And it's located in my hometown, which you all know about and ask about all the time, which is Hammonton, New Jersey. And Dave, you're not the only owner, right?
No, we have my brother Steve.
Yes.
So we work together at it. He runs front of the house. I run back of the house. And just incidentally, Roxanne's mother, Maggie, worked for us years ago, and she was the most terrific. We all still love and talk about Maggie.
Aww.
And she even worked there years before also.
Yes,
So
when I was little.
she had a lot of footsteps in that building
Yeah.
that you'll see later.
Yes. I was a little girl when she first started working
Yeah,
there.
you and your sister, I'll
Oh
never
my
forget.
gosh.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Yeah.
What about, let's talk about the cool history because they're going to love this. So the original owners were
two ladies, Rita and Dottie, and their father had a little bar across the street from where the townhouse sits now, and it was called Tony's Bar. And in 1949, he decided to build a new bar across the street from the old one. And he did, and it was called The Townhouse. It opened in 49, New Year's Eve 49. And his daughters were married to Ray and Danny, and they all opened it up. And the father, Tony, he passed away the first year they were in business at the new place. So the the brother-in-laws or son-in-laws, however you want to phrase it, took over the bar, and with the help of their wives, who were school teachers, both of them. Dottie taught at St. Joe, and Rita taught at Hammonton.
So look, it's bar owners, saloon owners, and teachers, just like in the show, which is so exciting. They're all saying hi to you, by the way.
Hello.
Yeah. All right. And then years later, then your dad wanted to take over. That's where the name comes from, right?
Right. Yeah. So then in 1983, my brother and I were both working in Atlantic City at the Sands Hotel Casino in the restaurant end of it. And my father had an itch to get into the restaurant business. So he was already doing some catering. And so we took a shot and bought it. It was a really run down at this point. The original owners were out of it at this point. Basically, it had been sold and things were a little bit run down, to just leave it at that. And so we took it over. And then just like with the first owner, Tony, my father, passed within the first year that we bought it. So it was a little, and my mother's a school teacher, and she was helping us too, even though she wasn't working in there on a regular basis. She would help out when she could.
Which is so exciting. There's like a little bit of a history there. So we're going to show off some wonderful things. By the way, it's on 3rd Street in Hammonton. It's called Uptown Hammonton, isn't it? Is that what the little signature is when we hashtag it? I'm pretty sure it's Uptown.
No, they call it Little Italy. Hammonton. That's the Little Italy section of Hammonton. It might also be Uptown. I'm not sure about that.
But that's the Little Italy part.
That's the Little Italy section of Hammonton.
All right, so this is what it looks like from the outside during the day. And here's what's cool. If you look up at the top where those windows are, that's actually where it's like living quarters up there. It's like 2 houses, right?
2 big apartments. And that's the original color of the building. It was built with an Art Deco look. We had pictures of the original signage, the marquee. It's hard to see in this picture.
You'll
I guess
see
if
it
you
next.
zoomed in.
Yeah.
And we had the marquee reproduced, but we changed the name to Rocco's Townhouse to keep a little possession because my father's name was Rocco.
Yeah. So if you're ever coming by in South Jersey, you must come by and stop and have dinner and drinks and even entertainment, right?
Yeah.
The entertainment can be him visiting you at the table.
Well, that can be too, especially if we've had a cocktail.
All right. So they always have these cool dinner specials up on the wall. And I love it because the artwork is Billy's doing all of this, isn't he?
Billy
Oh
does
my gosh.
Great artwork.
His artwork is amazing. And this is one of the specials. The pictures are not necessarily going with the menu itself. I just wanted to show that there's always something wonderful up there. And if you really pay attention, and they'll go back and they'll look. No, not Hammonton, 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 Brian. I see what you wrote. I know because there's two Hamiltons, but it's Hammonton. They have, like, you always have like a appetizer special, a wonderful soup, and then
usually a few entree specials.
Yes. Look, I'm taking over.
That's all right.
Now, I wanted to show that you always have these really cool, it's not just Italian food.
Yeah. Well,
that was
a lot of things.
Was that like an Asian?
Yeah,
right?
That was an Asian dish. I think it was a short rib with an Asian sauce.
Yes.
With egg sunny side on top.
Yum. And you know what? I didn't realize how many Asian dishes have eggs in them.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, I learned that recently. Now, these are the steakhouse burger is on the menu. To the other side of it is another burger, which was a special. You had other things added on.
I can't remember what we called that one, but it had pulled pork or pork belly. I can't remember. With Cajun onions and maybe something else thrown in there for good measure.
Yes.
That was a while back. I just can't remember exactly what it was, but we run a lot of specials. We have an expression, we like to eat. So we're changing the menu all the time, putting new things on.
Yes.
And some things stay, though. We have some signature dishes that are on the menu all the time.
Once there was a dish, and maybe it'll resurface once in a while, named after me, Roxy's Chicken.
That's right.
Yeah,
I was with the roasted pepper.
Yes, and the chicken breast.
Mozzarella cheese, smoked mozzarella cheese. And then there's a little bit, what was it, a blush sauce or a blush sauce?
Real light, yeah.
Oh, I do remember that dish. Well, after tonight, that might have to make an appearance.
All right. And then the steakhouse burger is like my favorite. And I think it's like $16 now. And I have to talk about this because I don't know, wherever I go, I get nothing for $16. I still can't believe you might want to know. I still can't believe it's $16. It's like so luscious. That's the best word. It has French fried onions. And do you make that steak sauce?
Yes, we make our own steak sauce in-house. And the burger meat's never frozen. That's the big trick to it.
Yes.
Once you freeze ground beef, it's just never the same.
No. And I think the other thing that's luscious is it comes with those chips that are homemade.
Chips, yeah, they're good.
You could get them as an appetizer and a dip.
Yeah.
So this is another one that's my favorite.
Yeah, white chicken and spinach parmesan. We've had that on the menu since approximately the second year I came up with that dish. And that's become like a signature dish. We have people that won't even take a menu. They know what they want before they even come in the door.
Too.
Yeah,
it's between that and the burger now. Now that the Burger King, I'll get that. One time, Burger King. One time, Tia, who's been with you forever, she came and she was my waitress, and I was like, "I'm not having the white chicken parmesan because you're not." I said, "No, it's the steakhouse burger because it's like my new favorite. I love it."
Yeah, they're so good.
And then what's this dish right next to it?
That's the seared ahi tuna, sesame seed crusted. That's a big seller. People love the tuna. That's a really good dish.
Okay, so I'm telling you that when they want to come visit, I want to host something in our town, and I wanted to, of course, we'll have something at your place. And now they're really going to know what they're going to.
We could do that.
All right. So then we have delicious desserts. Billy makes some of them, doesn't he?
He makes most of them. I make a few, but he makes most of the desserts. That's a blueberry cheesecake.
Oh my God.
Oh, it looks good enough to take a bite right now.
I know. It was so cool. Somebody had a birthday dinner and it was for their dad, and they posted that and a couple other things, and I stole it from them when I was searching. So they always have this menu. This big menu is up with all of their desserts too. And then cocktails, I think, downstairs, right? At the Rock Bottom Whiskey Bar. So the character in the show that we love, he was a mixologist in real life, and he loves whiskey. So if he's ever coming this way, we're going to take him to the whiskey bar.
To kidnap him.
Yes, and bring him.
He better Uber. He won't be able to drive home.
Okay, we got it. I'll be the chauffeur. So it's downstairs of your establishment.
Yeah, it's in the basement, for lack of a better word. Yeah, it's definitely. But it's an old feeling down there. There's big wooden beams above your head. We went totally rustic with it. Bare brick walls in some areas. It's really taken off. We have a small stage. We have entertainment every Saturday night. And it's really worked out well. It used to be a banquet room, but I got too old to run the meatballs up and down the steps. So
the dumbwaiter, yes, days. And the dumbwaiter wasn't big enough.
There was plenty of nights you were there and you saw us all running around.
Of course I did.
Oh, when we'd have a lot of people down there, more meatballs. Oh my goodness.
I've had some of my own parties down there, all over the restaurant I have. And I love it because they do specialty things. This actually in the taller glass was a pumpkin flavored whiskey, I think. You have all kinds of cool stuff.
And then in the barrels, Greg makes his own blends down there of whiskeys and Manhattans, like an aged Manhattan or something. Yeah, they're really good. We have a lot of good whiskeys down there. I mean, some really nice stuff.
You know, I have a recipe that you should try. It's actually Chris McNally, who is the actor who plays the saloon owner, but in real life was a mixologist. It's a raspberry jam whiskey sour.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. I will teach you it.
Tell Beth about that. She makes some of the drinks out front, the specials now.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, you see her sometimes.
I will tell her.
With the church connections. Yeah.
I will. I'll tell her. And then I turned it into a cake too. That's a wonderful dessert. Oh, it's so good.
Sounds yummy.
We'll talk. All right. And then I showed just a few more things, like another, what's this one over here?
That one's on the left is looks like an espresso martini. They're really popular, especially when you need a little energy jolt in the middle of the night. That'll really.
Good Lord, I'll stay away from that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And what is that, a flight?
Yeah, they're flights of whiskey. You get three different tasters of whiskey. In case you don't know what you're really in the mood for, you can taste a few different ones without buying a whole glass.
Yes. And you know what? So there is an actor. He used to be on Wine Calls the Heart, and I'm sure he'll be back. And his name is Paul Green, and he sings and plays. And I've talked to Paul before. He was up in sort of like North Jersey not too long ago. And I'm like, Paul, when you come back this way, I want you to come and play at the whiskey bar. And he will. He's like that. He picks a random bar and he goes in. And I'm like, you should come to, I'm telling you.
He would love it. People, these musicians that come down there, they just love it down there. It's such a neat, old-fashioned.
It is.
People say it's like a speakeasy.
Yep.
We have a big 20-foot, 22-foot shuffleboard, old-fashioned shuffleboard. You know what's interesting? Sidetrack.
That's okay.
How many young people get such a good time out of playing the shuffleboard, and there's no bells, no whistles, no buttons,
just regular stuff.
It's as old-fashioned as you can get. A piece of wood and a puck or a quate sliding down. I mean, but they have a ball with it.
Now,
it's really fun.
Did someone make it for you, or did you make it?
No, we bought it.
Oh, you bought it?
The original bar years ago had one upstairs, but they got rid of it in the late 70s. That was got disposed of, and so when we redid the downstairs, Steve and I made it a point to find an old shuffleboard for it, and it worked out great.
They used to even, I remember when my grandfather, when I was a little girl, he would go and play pool on the bar side.
They had a pool table.
And you've had pool tables downstairs before.
But
that was
not
years
anymore.
ago.
Yeah.
So Lillian, she is actually not far. And Lillian is my friend. I met her through Wine Calls the Heart, and she's from Brooklyn. And she has come to Hammonton before. Oh. And so when are we going, Roxanne? I'm only 2 hours away. Lillian, you could come anytime you want. I tell you that all the time. Come on, I'm ready.
Closed Sunday, Monday.
Yes, but Lillian's always going somewhere. But Lillian, you tell me, and we'll go. This is LJ. LJ, I'm not quite sure what your last name is, so I'm not going to say it because I don't want to hack it up. But it says, you're making my mouth water. Bonnie says, I'm thinking a road trip is needed to try these dishes. Yes, come on. Tony says, wish I was closer. I would love to try some of your menu. Yum. Tony, you could come. Tony, if I'm not mistaken, I think she's a retired teacher, I think. Oh, look, this is what Lillian likes. The pear upside down cake.
Oh,
that was on there. Yeah.
that's
You
a
know
good
what?
one.
I never had the chance to taste it, but one of my favorite things that is made is actually the creme brulee.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh
Billy
my
makes
God.
that. Yeah,
And
that's a
one
good one.
time they did it flavored, and I'm like, you can't mess with creme brulee. You have to leave it alone. But I tried it anyway, and I was wrong. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm a purist with the creme brulee too. I like the plain original, but I'll try the others. They're good.
Yeah. All right. Arlene says we need to get the Hallmark party bus bought so we can make a trip to Rocco's. Rocco's Townhouse is true. Men are all loving it. You got it. And what a special place to have with fantastic menu and rustic decor. All right, Tony.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, what's this? Too bad my hubby's band isn't together anymore. They would have loved to play there. Your husband still sings. It doesn't have to be a big band. Lots of times it's like one person with their guitar singing.
Yeah. Often.
So when you come, Christina, because we're planning that, you bring your husband and tell him to bring whatever in his voice, and he's going to go sing, especially after he has a few drinks. He's definitely going to be singing. What's this say? Definitely would need to Uber because a flight sounds great and a slice of that blueberry pie, and it will go from there. All right.
It. Perfect.
Yes. So, Dave, thank you.
You're welcome.
I asked him. You're just like, sure, I'll do it, but he wouldn't do it virtually. He's like,
I don't do Zoom.
I don't do that. So he had.
I did Zoom one time. I tried. It was such a mess. It's okay. I like in person.
And it was fun having someone here with me.
Very good.
So I don't have to talk to myself.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Be careful.
Good night, all.
Yes.
God bless. That was fun.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Hello, everyone. Okay, are you hungry? It's like 8:00 over here, 8:30 here. So I don't know. I'm hungry myself. Oh, they're saying thanks. Sounds like me. Thanks. Oh, what a nice person. Dave's lovely. His whole family is lovely. His children are lovely. His brother's lovely, and his wife and their children, and his mom is the sweetest ever. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna talk about our saloon owner, right? We're going to talk about Mr. Bouchard. And before we shared, and I wanted to make sure I was sharing with you where I was getting my information from. So it wasn't like I was reading something that was, second, third, fourth, fifth hand, whatever. I was getting it directly from either an interview that I listened to with my own ears and saw with my own eyes. So Chris, this is information from Chris when he did some interviews, and I'm sure some of you saw it, especially when he was doing the promotion for the Pink Ladies. And then Erin, she was on doing little mini spots on various radio stations and TV stations, like a little mini tiny tour. And I think the tour really was because she was also promoting her movie that just came out. And then the showrunner, she was interviewed. The promo itself that they released, and then the episode titles. So this is I tell my students they have to be reading detectives. So we took all those clues, or I took all those clues, and I put them together. So yes, shout out. I'm going to just share some of the stuff. Yes, you want to go to Rocco's. Martha, listen to me. If anybody lives nearby, like I know Lillian lives 2 hours away, just tell me. I'm always up for fun. Just come on. It would be so much fun. I would love it. And Cindy saying, shout out to bar owners. My nephew owns the Scotch House Pub here in upstate New York. Very nice. And what's this? I think Smith and his investors are going to hold Lucas financially responsible for Gowan's blowing up the mine. Arlene, you already jumped on my stuff. Okay, hold on. I thought you were giving shout outs. I'm going to highlight that and then make it go away. But we're coming back to that. So anyway, those are my sources. And of course, I want to hear from everything that you have to say. So I want to talk about first the saloon. What's the fate of the saloon? I can't imagine that we're going to, where is the interview with Lindsay, the showrunner? I know I keep going back and forth. I'm highlighting it. I got it. Oh, Arlene, don't say you're sorry. It's okay. All right. I feel like I'm all over the place. I can't imagine we're going to go into season 10 and there's not a change with the Queen of Heart in some way. I mean, if for no other reason, the decor changes because there was a fire. Okay. So there's going to be some type of change in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just the way it looks. But I'm wondering if, because of what Chris said, that it's something big for him. He didn't call it an obstacle. I forget how he worded it. You probably all know, so you'll put it in the chat and let me know. But Chris, the actor, he was saying that Lucas really goes through something. We know this is what Chris has always wanted, but it's not like it's a disaster for him and Elizabeth. They're tight. They're going to get married. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is more about him, and I think it's about his livelihood and what his biggest challenge. Thank you, Carrie. All right, good. Carrie's got it. His biggest challenge. I think it's more about him trying to decide where and what he's going to do. So maybe, as Arlene was saying, maybe what happens is he wants to, fix up whatever burned in the fire, but he's being held responsible by Smith because what happened with the mine. And we know from the promo that there is no foundry and there is no oil well anymore. So that's all gone. And I think part of the reason is because those storylines were so fractured and there were so many of them. I felt like we were all over the place, kind of losing the feel of what When Calls the Heart was about. And I think it's going to go back to more of a family oriented, but we'll talk more about that, like in the personal lives and not all this outside drama. So I'm glad, in my opinion, I'm kind of glad those storylines are ending. And I guess Lucas has to figure out what he wants to do. I'm thinking maybe it's not that he's not fulfilled and he wants to leave Hope Valley. I'm wondering what else he wants to do, like with the saloon and what direction it'll go into. And I'm also thinking they're definitely going to be like a family unit. They already are. So Elizabeth's working during the day. He's working at night. They're running back and forth, taking care of little Jack. And they probably say to themselves, we got to carve out time for each other. Sort of like what happened with Rosemary and Lee with that paper and their jobs. And they were just going crazy, but they had enough time to make a baby. That's important. But anyway, I'm thinking that Lucas might hire somebody to help in the evenings so he has more time to be with the family, or maybe he kind of wants to go in a different direction so that he is not taken away from his family life. Remember he said his dream, his biggest and greatest adventure was to stay put and have a family. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, you can add your stuff in here. Brian's saying, where is the interview with Lindsay, the showrunner? Brian, it is not very new. It is months old, and I will have to find it for you, but I will. So when she talks, it made everybody panic, and they thought it meant that Lucas and Elizabeth were going to break up, but it's more about the romance and them getting married. And Chris kind of addressed that, as did Erin recently. So we'll talk about that in a minute. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about the saloon? Do you think that there's going to be big changes? What are you saying? Let's see. Go, Arlene. Arlene, what are you saying? maybe he will be the mayor. And Henry will take over the saloon. I don't know. They have to give us some drama in the show, but it will be okay for Luca Beth. Definitely. I agree. And I can't see him giving up the saloon. No, I don't think he'll give it up. I'm just thinking that there would be more changes than normally, like more than just the things that burnt up and smoke damaged, I don't know. And I find it, I wonder about the top where they had the rooms. Will they go back to the same? Will they add more? I just think there's going to be a change. And something else that I found interesting was Erin said there was something new. And what was new was there would be some singing and dancing, which we've all been asking for, because they can all, Erin can sing, Kevin can sing. Who else is there? Kayla can sing. There's like so many of them that sing and have Jack. Well, Jack is Bill, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering how that's going to be pieced in. And by any chance, do you think that the new character, he's only there for 2 episodes, and I remember of Mark, when Mark said the only thing he would tell us when I interviewed him, or he could tell us, is everybody was excited for him to arrive, but then they couldn't wait for him to go. And I'm wondering if he has something to do with like the music end of it. Maybe there's going to be more singing, dancing, some kind of fun stuff like that at the saloon. I don't know. What do you think about that one? Let's see. I can see Lucas doing more of an entertainment center or at a movie house stage performance. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I think that would be cool. Karaoke night. Oh, good Lord. And then have a very much pregnant a very much pregnant Rosemary there singing, or her baby on her hip. What's this say? Every wedding that has been, okay, we'll hold on that one. The wedding one, we'll hold on. Yes, Lillian's saying I can see Henry managing the saloon. He's going to need a job, and they're close. And yeah, I don't think, Cindy, he'll give up the saloon. No. I think, just like Kerry's saying too, that he might add some live entertainment, and then it might become so much. I don't really think that that's his big obstacle or challenge. I'm just talking first about the saloon itself. Could his cousin take a more permanent position in the saloon? Gustav, yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I think Gustav can help out with the saloon without having Lucas give it up. I don't think he's giving it up. I just think there's going to be changes to the saloon itself, but there's something going on with him, like him himself, some kind of something he's going to have to come to terms with. I could see Lucas doing, okay, we said that. All right. So now let's talk about, this is what the showrunner was hinting at. And then Aaron and Chris talked more about this recently, and it was about their whole romance. There's nothing wrong with their romance. It's just that they're very busy and they're trying to plan a wedding. So they have so much that they have to do. And every time they try to take cake testing, I think she talked about cake tasting, and they try to plan, other things like get in the way. And I think it's just life. And I also really suspect it might have to do with the parents. Like maybe his mother is too busy. She can't make it this time. She's abroad. And then the same with Aaron's family. So I think that's what puts it off. But I truly think something's going to happen towards the end. So apparently, Aaron said that Lucas, in his big Lucas Bouchard fashion, because he hasn't been romantic and he was doing those small moments like she wanted, he's going to do like the big that he does. And there is an episode about Starry Night. And I'm wondering if he plans this whole big, beautiful thing. And it might, like in the nighttime, maybe up in the woods where he was when he went camping or whatever. And I was thinking they might be sitting there saying, oh, this is just so perfect, so relaxing. Why do we wait so long to do this? And then they might say, why are we waiting? She doesn't need a big wedding. And she says that. Aaron says that, Elizabeth is in a different place. She doesn't need the big fairy tale wedding. She had that with Jack. She's a mother. She's a widow. She's, she doesn't need that. Those are things that she doesn't need. And I'm thinking maybe while they're there under the stars and enjoying themselves, they're like, let's just do it. Let's have a small wedding, we want to be together and then have a big party. I'm really leaning toward it, especially since I don't know if it's episode 11. I think it's 11. It's not the last one where it's like Starry Night, something that has to do with it. So I don't know. That's just, what are you thinking? We've talked about this so much, but these little pieces I feel like are really sealing the deal for me that's what's going to happen. Please share what you think. And while you're typing in what you think, Arlene, 20s had flapper girls, which could be how Mark Brandon's character gets involved as an investor. Maybe. You think he's an investor? He leaves right away. Do you think he brings his flapper girls and is a little too much? And then they can't wait for him to go? What's Chris saying? He said before that they would be having a movie night once a month. He did. Remember that? I would love that. They never really showed it. Now, Deb, first I have to tell you it's hilarious. When I saw you, I'm so excited Chris is here. And then I saw you put laugh out loud. You're a brat. That's all I wanted to tell you. I wonder if there will be an issue with the bookmobile when Elizabeth is up in the hills because of when Joseph Campbell was messing with one of the wheels. Maybe. Could be. Now that little Jack is older, he might require more attention from them too. Very understandable when a young child is involved. Yeah, and I think that's why they don't have time to be romantic, and so much is going on. So I think because of that, I feel like their lives are going to be, hit and miss and running around, and then that's why they have that big special night that Lucas plans, and then I think that that's what's going to spur them to say, we're getting married, and then we'll have a big party afterwards. And we might not see the big party until season 11. I'm also even thinking I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season they go away. Maybe they go away on their honeymoon, and then they come back, then they do that time lapse, and then they'll have a party. Yeah, Tony's saying she thinks the wedding will be small. I'm thinking all dressed up. Where is it? Where's that one? Deb, I agree. Here it is. I'm thinking all dressed up is the wedding. Rona, I don't remember which episode all dressed up is. Which one is that? Episode 12 is Starry Night. It is. Okay. I thought it was 11. So, I'm really thinking it's that now, Brian. When's all dressed up? So, let's see. Little Jack doesn't have the devices to keep him busy like the kids of his age have today. This is so true. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, let's talk about this wedding. Okay. Who is going to, see, episode 10 is all dressed up. I don't think I think it's too soon for the wedding. I think they're going to get married at the very end. Now, someone put something on, that's just my opinion. And you could be right, Brian. And if you are correct, you could say, Roxanne, I was correct. And I will say, I don't remember that. No, I'm like kidding. No, that's not the one. Sorry. There was one all the way up here that I starred and I saved. Here we go. Deb saying every wedding that has been in Hope Valley has had some sort of drama before the wedding actually happened. This is true. And I feel like their drama is not going to be so huge. I feel like it's going to be, they just don't have time to plan their wedding. And they're really just going to just go for it. I really do. I really do. Yes, I'm pretty sure they're going to wait to the end, and then we'll see more of them. Nikki, you're late. You're late for a date. Sorry, I'm late. Had to finish mowing before the rain. Okay. Mark Brandon will be in that one. He is in all dressed up. He's in 10 and 11. He's in 2. And I think it's 10 and 11. Was it 9 and 10? I think it's 10 and 11. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So back to the wedding. Starry Night could be after the wedding, but before the honeymoon. Maybe. It could be. All right. It could. So let's talk about this wedding again. So I am still going with small. I still think it's going to be, intimate, and then they are going to have a big party afterwards. But I don't think it'll happen at the same time. And I think 9 and 10. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, because it's in a block. Correct. 9 and 10. 11 and 12 is the last block. So I really think it's going to be small, beautiful, probably outside. And then they'll have a big reception, but later. That's how I'm going. But what are we talking about when it comes to the best man? I have 3 people in mind. I'm curious to see what your people are. I will say that one of my people is not Kevin McGarry, but I remember when I first met Kathy and we talked about it, Kathy said she could see where they would become good friends, and that they would be in a wedding together. I don't think it would be. I think that if that did happen, that Lucas would be in what's the Mounties name? Oh my gosh, it went right out of my head. Would be in his wedding. The Mountie. All right, people are saying Henry. No, I don't think they'll elope. I think they'll actually have a wedding performed either by, um, by both, by Joseph or by Bill. I think they'll both be there in some capacity. Um, yes. Remember, Elizabeth and Jack threatened to elope. Yeah, yeah. All right. So people are saying, they're saying Gustav. Yes, I did that. I thought that too, Gustav, and I definitely thought that's it. Nathan, thank you, Brian. I had a brain heat. Also thought Nathan the Mountie, Lee maybe, and Martin, but I definitely wouldn't. I really think Lee will be busy, occupied. They're really not that close, but I definitely think that I don't think it's a big wedding with all those grooms people. I don't. I think it's like best man and girl, and that's it. And I almost wonder if, because we do know that the actress who plays Elizabeth's sister is there. It could very well be her sister, his best man, and that's it, because Lee and Rosemary are busy, especially with the baby. But I'm thinking Martin would be his best man, or Gustav. I don't know. Let's see, what do we have here? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. And some of the behind the scene pictures, which there were not a lot of, there's also a lot of balloons hanging on buildings, etc. Not sure what that is about either. I don't think it's their wedding. Those balloons are not their wedding. So, what is Nathan the Mountie? Okay. It would be so cute if little Jack. I thought that too. People are like, no, he'd be the ring bearer, but I really thought it'd be cute too. I was wondering that. I was wondering if the Starry Night episode is if their honeymoon camp on the ridge. The wedding will be possibly just Jack, Rosemary, Lee, and Bill officiating at the Pine Ridge or at the saloon. Yes, I think it's going to be that way. Aaron posted a photo of Kevin on his birthday. He was in a tuxedo, and it looked like he was in the cafe. Yeah. I wonder if Elizabeth's parents will be the same actors as before. I don't know. I would hope so. Yeah. I'm all for Jack as the best man. Deb, you're hilarious tonight. You're a hilarious person. I've been listening. Oh, Jack, I hope you mean the little boy. Okay. I have been listening and just haven't said anything yet. Okay, Margie. I agree with you, Roxanne. I know I'm probably alone, but I believe the wedding will be during Viola, during what? You kind of cut it off. During what? Right back. Tell us. Okay. I do know that it doesn't happen right away. I do know that they're caught up in the planning because both actors said this. So I know it doesn't happen right away. The wedding is definitely towards the end. Wondering if Elizabeth's parents will be able to attend and if they'll be the same actors as before. So I think that's the whole part of it. I think that the actors won't be there, and that's why they've been putting things off. No, the 100th episode absolutely is not the wedding. No, it can't be because of what they said. They said that this season they go through, try to do all the wedding planning, and it doesn't happen. So it takes them a while to figure it out or get it together. I think the 100th episode, because it's called something about baby, I think it's I feel like whatever's going on is when the baby is coming. I said that in my last podcast. That's when Lee and Rosemary's baby will be coming. Let's see. 100th trip is the wedding. I believe the wedding will be during life is but a dream, and the problems will come about the honeymoon. No. So again, Chris and Aaron both said that they don't, and so did the showrunner, that they don't have time for romance. They're struggling to plan the wedding, and it takes them a while to get there. So that's why I think there is a wedding, but I truly think it's at the end of the season. All right. I don't think her parents will be there either. I think that's part of the thing that's holding them up. I do know that the actress who plays Chris's mother, she was filming right along with them. So, I mean, if they snuck her in, and they could very well have, but she was filming another show entirely. Have they said if they consider number? No, they never said it was 5. When I had Kevin Smith, when they blocked it out, he couldn't remember or figure it out because the way they were filming, if it was episode 2 or if it was episode 3. That's what Kevin said. This was months ago when he was promoting his other movie and he was my guest. He said that. Not 5, it was 2 or 3. That will be good too. Looking forward to seeing Leah's father and Rosemary with her own baby. The pictures of the 100th episode cake were posted early when they were shooting. I did see a post that said that Lucas planned a romantic date for them. Yes, he does. Actually, Erin said it in an interview, and she said it's a big, and you know how he was doing those small moments? It's not that. It's the old Lucas Bouchard going out of all stops fashion. And that's why I was saying, I think that it spurs them to say, we're going to elope. I think Bill will walk Elizabeth down the aisle if her father can't be there, and if it's, a quick private little wedding and then a reception later. I agree with you. Rosemary and Lee's baby for sure in the 100th episode, as they have been waiting for so long and basically gave up and a miracle happened for them. Yes. I'm also wondering if the 100th episode is a little longer than just the regular amount of time. Chris said that Lucas has big problems that are all encompassing. What could it be? That's what we're talking about, Avis. I was saying that I think it has something to do with him in general, with the saloon and his him deciding what to do work wise, and maybe because of what happens with the oil mill and the oil mill, listen to me, with the oil well and whatnot. Maybe financially he struggles a little bit. Maybe he's also in a lawsuit of some sort, Yes, Virgin River films at the same area as When Calls the Heart, so she could do a quick run over just like Andrea did when she was filming Supergirl and When Calls the Heart. She could, Nikki, but I will tell you that I was watching her closely, and she was doing something else too, and that's why I was like, oh, she's still there. She'd be like back on the set, or I'm on the set. And it was like every day, and she'd post a picture of herself after she was working out. And I was like, you're still there? Yeah, I guess you're not over at When Calls the Heart set. So, but that doesn't mean anything. Let's see what's next. Episode 9 ending will be the wedding. Just a feeling. Lucas's car was parked behind Elizabeth's house in that last block behind the scenes from Nate. I think he spends a lot of time there. That's something else I was thinking about. I'm thinking he's going to move in. That's another thing. They're trying to figure out where the logistics are of where they're going to live. Are they going to fit in that house? I know that there are other people that fit in those houses, but this is Elizabeth, this is Lucas, and they have the little Jack. Just like I'm wondering how Rosemary and Lee going to fit in that house with their baby. I know the other families do it, but they have a little bit more of a different lifestyle than the other families. So I'm wondering if in the back of their mind, they're wondering where they're going to be living. And I think they're going to wind up just be living at Elizabeth's. Like, they're tired of figuring it out. Let's just go with it, and then we'll go from there. And I think it will be hilarious seeing them on top of each other. And I think that will be part of season 11. Yeah. Prohibition. Yes, Avis, right? And that could cause an issue. Yes. I'm agreeing with that. Yes. All kinds of goodies can come up. Let's see. I think Lucas' problems on what to do in the future. Elizabeth's not approving in some of his choices, and this could cause issues. I don't know. It didn't say there were issues, Christina, with their relationship. It wasn't that at all. It was something that was an obstacle for him. Their romance, because I remember Erin saying they're fine. They are definitely, not like they're going to break up, but they're overwhelmed, that kind of thing. Chris referred to the season as thrilling. Yeah, they were trying to give him an adjective, like some type of an adjective. And a lot of them before said electric. And that's what got me to thinking, what in the world is electric? And he went with thrilling. I think there will be something more than time management issues. Oh, yes, I agree. And the other thing that I was thinking about too is that what if it's something along the lines like you're saying prohibition? I wasn't even thinking that. That's a wonderful idea. But what if it's something dangerous, like something happens to the saloon? Maybe that fire was not an accident and something else comes out of it and there's a bit of investigation and something along those lines. I don't know. Thanks to Fiona's negotiating skills, Lucas has to stay involved with the board oil group, correct? I wonder if this takes some of his time. Well, all of that stuff, it sounds like, is gone. They kind of like resolved it, and it may have resolved itself off air, because that's kind of like what she it's what she says, that there's no oil drill, no oil well, no foundry, none of that. And when she was Erin, as Elizabeth is doing the voiceover, I was also Fiona's negotiation skills. I don't know. People always say stuff like that, but Fiona was left to do her own thing. I mean, too much was going on, and that's a whole other story. It's kind of weird. It's a little bit of weird writing to me when it came to that. But isn't Lucas out of the oil business? He sold his part of the business. He is. But he had to stay on in certain capacity. That's what I think that's what the stipulations were. Where would he put all his clothes in that little house? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what they're going to be overcrowded, and that's going to be all in season 11. Was there prohibition in Canada? I don't know. Do you want me to ask Alexa? Alexa, was there prohibition in Canada?
From wikipedia.org. Canada did, however, enact a national prohibition from 1918 to 1920 as a temporary wartime measure.
Alexa.
Like another
no, thank you. Did you hear that was 1918 to 1920 because of World War II? Yep, here they go. They haven't put any of the historical problems in the show like World War II. You are correct, Deb. So, I know. They're definitely going to need a bigger couch. It was in Canada, but it was just for a short amount of time. Yeah. Doesn't Lucas still need to make repairs to the saloon? Margie, did you come in late? You told me you did, right? We talked about that in the very beginning. I opened with the fate of the saloon, and I talked about if anything, there's going to be some change to the saloon. If anything, at least cosmetic, because of the fire. Yes, we are in agreement. That is why he would make a great mayor. Chris said they are in love, want to be together and get married, but life gets in the way. Their relationship is strong. Absolutely. That's exactly what he said. Yes. That's why I really think it's at the end. No coal mine. Yes. So no foundry, and oil wells dried up. Yes. Very good. I'm glad they offloaded all that oil company coal mines, but yes, I am agreement. Yes. And I don't know, wouldn't it be cool though? A little bit of danger. We haven't had real like danger where it's just a few episodes instead of those big giant storylines that go on forever and ever and ever. In the past, When Calls the Heart never reflected on the current issues in the world. You were correct. So why would they all of a sudden include prohibition? I don't think, maybe they won't. That was just an idea. Who knows? Maybe not. That's just because it's the saloon. We have a new showrunner. Who knows? So prohibition would almost, oh yeah, absolutely. It was only for that little short of time, they said. And when it said that, I remember this because somebody said something funny on TikTok once about it. 18, 19, and 20, and it had to do with, the whole World War II. I'm wondering when the saloon gets revamped, if they will stop referring to it as a saloon. I'm not sure what year they stopped calling establishments like that a saloon. I don't know, but I have to tell you, they still use the word saloon around here instead of bar. Oh, my Alexa just tried to respond to your question. I whispered it so mine didn't hear. Season 10 starts several months after the end of season 9. Yes, that's right. Rosemary looks ready to give birth in the first episode. You are correct. I think that's why it's that episode. I think it's 2, the whatever one that says baby. I think that's the 100th episode, and that is definitely when she has the baby. What happened to the lumber mill? It's there. It's just they haven't been paying attention to it. We're talking about everything else. You're not staying on topic. I'm happy to see that the storyline about the oil wells but I wonder what Henry will do. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. World War I. I'm sorry. I do know that. I teach history. Sorry. Maybe they could build a shed or another room extension. Oh, dear Lord. We're still. Yes, it is. It is World War I. My slip. Thank you. Maybe they could build a shed. What happened was it was 2 years, and that's why I wound up saying World War II, because it was just 2 years. So it was from 1818 to 1920, which is 2 years. I'm sorry. All right. So those are my thoughts. In conclusion, there will be changes to the yes, World War I. Yes, you are correct. There are changes. This is my conclusion. There are changes to the saloon, even if it's just cosmetic. I think that I think that Lucas is going to be bombarded with many things and very overwhelmed. I think that there is definitely going to be a big challenge. And I think the big challenge comes in the way of money and his identity and him trying to figure out what he is going to be doing next. I think that they will get married, but they will get married at the very end in that starry night. And I think the big romantic, whatever he has planned for them is what sparks them to say, let's just do this, have a party later. And then as for who would be at the wedding, I definitely think that, of course, little Jack will be at the wedding and those who are very close to him. And my 3 choices for his best man would either be Gustav, maybe Lee, but I don't think so, or Martin. Well, not Martin. I'm saying their names and then their characters' names. That's so funny. Let's see. A town hall is all going to come back together. Okay. The town is all going to come back together with coal mine now gone and saloon needing to be redone, etc. It will be great to see the community at its strongest. Yes. For richer or poorer. That's cute. There is something that will involve danger to Lucas and his future. Yeah, there is something's going on. And I think it's going to be a little bit on the exciting part of it, like what if it has to do with his friend, something about her, because she went quiet. They don't know where she is. They might just have her call and it'll look at static cling and work on that. But Henry. So Jeanette and Henry, something thrilling. Yes, I'm going to end with that because I really agree. I get that the town is all going to come back together with coal mine now gone. I agree with that. All right. So those are the end of my theories. Yeah, they will. Yes, they are. They are the wealthiest. I feel like I lied. I'm not ending with that. I feel like Lucas and Lee are going to build houses near each other for their families because they're going to need to. They need bigger houses. I will say that I strongly believe that that Lucas is going to move in with Elizabeth, if for no other reason is that they don't have any more room for sets. I really think that that's what's going to go down, unless because of the fire, they'll rearrange what the interior looks like and then shave off a piece that they can use for like another set, like maybe their house or I don't know. We'll see, but not yet. Yeah, not yet. I think that's to come. All right. This is it. Now I want to ask you all something before we go. So I'm doing it every other Wednesday, and as more stuff comes out, I will use those notes to make my notes. What about, I have two options that I'm ready for. One of the things that I'm ready for is I wanted to do something about the family dynamics of When Calls the Heart, what is in season 10. There's all these little hints that I wanted to share, and I wanted to share my theories about that. Or I also have some stuff about the Mountie, just the Mountie in general. Which one do you want next? The Mountie or the family dynamics? As I'm reading what you're writing, I want to hear what you have to say, and then we'll talk about it. That would be cool. Keep in mind, okay. Not a tree house. I think small wedding on the bridge. Can they renovate the row house? I don't know. They've used it for other people's homes. They've used it for Nathan's home, and there's only two. They've turned one into, because that's a lot of work, for Nathan's home before, and they also did it for Joseph and the Canfields home before. So I don't know. All right, I'm just going to see what everybody's saying. Hold on, I got to go back. I got to take notes here. I've got family dynamics. I'm running family dynamics. Nathan. Family dynamics. Thanks for another fun evening. Family dynamics. Okay, family dynamics it is. Okay, family dynamics. Nathan. Let me tell you, I have something cool. I have some cool stuff for Nathan, but my guest is, if it all works out, it's going to be a cool guest. It looks like the family is the winner. Yes, family. Thank you, Chris. Family dynamics. Thank you for counting for me. Okay. Well, you'll have to stop by. You'll have to come to my little town. We'll have to have dinner at Rocco's townhouse. There's like a lot of history. Isn't it cool how the original owners were two teachers and their husbands were, around the bar? And then they had living quarters upstairs, two beautiful, it looks like apartments, but they're gorgeous. They have dining rooms. They have porches. They have 3 bedrooms, suite, like a bathroom, kitchen. It's really gorgeous up there. And then later on, years later, Dave's family buys it, and it's a bar owner, restaurateur at tour, and his wife is a teacher, which is so cool. I know. All right, friends, it's time to say goodnight. It's almost 1 hour we've been chatting. I love it that you're all here. It's amazing. Thank you. How close is Williamsburg's VA to you? Deb, I'm going to ask Alexa. Alexa, how far away is Williamsburg, Virginia from here?
Williamsburg is 309 miles away by car.
309 miles away by car. It's a good drive. I've driven to Colonial Williamsburg. I've been there. We did it in I forget how many hours. It was it took a day trip, but we didn't know it's not a day trip. It took us less than a day to get there. We started out in the morning and we spent a long weekend there. That's when the kiddos were young. Almost years ago. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. I love it. I love when I know it's Wednesday or whatever day I'm doing this. I get so excited to hear from everyone. You're welcome. Thank you. Deb, are you going to Colonial Williamsburg? Come my way. Oh, that's so nice, Robin. I'm going to put that up. Yeah. Can't wait for Rise of the Pink Ladies chat with Potato. Oh my God, Arlene. I am so excited about that. If I was going to say boys and girls, my brain, if it seems fried, it is. We are state testing, and my kiddos had to take 2 big tests back to back in one day for science. So we're on little, and then we had an evacuation in the middle of all that. But anyway, if you are not watching Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, I suggest you watch it. If for no other reason, if you are a Chris McNally fan, it is wonderful. It's such a tease, but the music and the costumes are amazing. And I'm excited because the actor who plays Potato, he is from Mexico. This is his first proper role. And he landed in this, which is so exciting. And he loves to cook. So he and I are going to be talking about Mexican cooking. I cannot wait. So he's a nice guy. He's so cute. He'll be on Sunday. He's my guest as we recap. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, good night.